This is seriously the hardest thing that I have to deal with and overcome on a daily basis. Talk about my week 5 going into week 6 on Nutrisystem. I just want to share with you guys some of my greatest challenges, and I also really would love to hear about your greatest challenges. So let's go ahead and talk about some real here today. All right, you guys, this has not been the easiest week for me. I'm just going to be honest. I did not want to film today. I just feel so overwhelmed with life right now. And that's why I feel even more prompted to do this, because I need you guys to see real. I do edit my videos so that I'm not stumbling over words sometimes, or I say too much, so that I can help you guys out while you're watching these. But I'm real, and I am usually better off than I am now. So I just want to share a little bit about where I'm at and what's been going on, and maybe you can relate and just kind of be encouraged that you're not alone when you're going through some of these battles. There's been some really hard things that I've had to overcome since doing Nutrisystem and since being on a weight loss journey in general. But I've been doing Nutrisystem now for 5 weeks for the second round, and it hasn't been the same results at all. It has been a challenge to see the drastic difference in my results from doing Nutrisystem the first 3 months that I did it last year and seeing the results that I'm having this time. It's just been a much more slow go, like way slower than it was the first time. And there's been other things that have been difficult too. Nutrisystem is a pretty foolproof way to lose weight. It works if you follow the program and do what it says to do and eat what you're supposed to eat. But I have not been doing the best at following the program like I'm supposed to 100% of the time. And herein lies the challenge. The challenges that I have been faced with now that I didn't have to deal with before was that in 2020, when I did Nutrisystem for the first time and lost 22 pounds, I was able to stay home. Everything was shut down. There was no option to go out to eat or grab a cup of coffee or, well, it's just this one thing. But this time I have been finding compromise has been my greatest enemy when it comes to losing weight like I did before. Now, I'm still doing pretty good. Last week I lost 2 pounds and I'm happy about that. That's awesome. That's the goal really that I have every single week is 2 pounds. So I did hit my goal. I've lost 2 pounds, but I just feel like I could have been doing better. And so then here is the hardest part of the program for me. And you guys might be facing this as well. So the greatest challenge that I've faced so far since being on Nutrisystem this round, and what makes it so hard, is my words. The way that I talk to myself, the way that I think about myself. So really, I am my greatest enemy. I have terrible self-talk, and when things aren't going as fast as I think they should or the way that I think they should, I start to look inward at myself and blame me. Like, I've done something wrong. You can't do it right. You never do it right. You always mess up. And I start using the never and the always statements, and then I'm defeated. On top of just the normal negative self-talk that I deal with, which shouldn't be normal, but it is sort of something I deal with that I know I have an issue with and I'm working through it. I have all these other outside external challenges coming at me. Yeah, there are some things that I could be better at when it comes to sticking to the program, like making sure that I drink my water every single day, because there's days that I don't. I miss the mark on that. And then there's days where I know that I haven't eaten enough vegetables because I just get too busy and I'm on the go. So that's a great challenge that I have for sure. But that's not the hardest thing that I've faced so far. The hardest thing, like I said before, is my words. Not necessarily even the words that are coming out of my mouth, but the words that I'm hearing in my mind. I'm just really frustrated at myself right now, and there's no even real good logical explanation why, because I am succeeding slowly, but I am succeeding. I think that the external circumstances of life can tend to come in and shadow all the positive things, like the external things that aren't so good. Like right now I'm dealing with my dad who's battling cancer, and that is a huge stressor in my life. Plus, I'm trying to finish up shoring the loose ends to a book that's going to be published that I wrote, my very first book, which is my story that I'm going to be sharing with the entire world on September 21st. that's a lot of mental energy, a lot of stress, a lot of things going into that. And of course, there's other things, like my oldest is going off to college, and so many things, really. There's just a ton that I could just sit here and list out for you. If we were just sitting down having coffee, I would probably have a really good cry with you right now and be like, this is tough. It is tough. And I'm really just trying to get through it, but I'm not getting through it well because I'm not talking to myself very well. I'm frustrated at life because of the external circumstances or the external stressors, and beating myself up, which I think is a little ironic, because if you guys caught the video that I posted for you on Saturday where I'm doing my Summer Coach collab series, Sarah and I talked about progress over perfection, and you'll hear a little bit about my battle with perfectionism and feeling like if I can't do it 100% right, then I'm a failure, and that is not accurate. That is a lie, and I have to remind myself of that. So I'm kind of at the midpoint of my journey with Nutrisystem. I went into it saying I'm going to do it for 3 months and I should hit this goal that I have. And if things are going to continue going the way that they are right now, I'm probably not going to hit that goal if I just keep losing 1 to 2 pounds a week. But I was kind of banking on, like, when I've done Nutrisystem for just 5 days or 7 days, I've lost quite a bit of weight in a short amount of time. And so I was kind of banking on that front end weight loss that wasn't really there. So the first week I did lose 3 pounds, which is excellent, but in the past I've lost like 5 or 10 or 7. And so I've kind of compared it to that. So taking all of that and beating myself up over it, I have not been speaking life. I've been speaking death, because the word tells us that there is life and death in the power of the tongue. And all these things that are going on in my mind are eventually coming out of my mouth. I have struggled with calling myself fat as long as I can remember. And I have tried to get better at that since I had my daughter 14 years ago, because I just kind of didn't want her to grow up thinking something was wrong with her because she heard me talk about myself the way that I did. I didn't want her to say, okay, mom thinks she's fat, maybe I think I'm fat. Or maybe mom dyes her hair super blonde, which I used to. I don't dye my hair at all anymore. But maybe I should be blonde instead of brown headed. So I just kind of wanted to be more of a good example to her once I had a little girl. I just don't know, something changed in me. And so I've gotten better about not calling myself fat as much. But if you didn't know me pre-14 years ago, you really wouldn't think that I have, because I do still say it so much, and I don't even catch it as it's coming out. As soon as I hear myself, I'm like, oh man, I've just said it again. I had a photo session this past Saturday. I was supposed to get my photos done professionally for like the book cover and website design and all the things that go along with that. I'm very uncomfortable with that as it is, because I'm not really about like, see me, notice me, don't you want to be me? Like, I'm really not. I am only on this platform just truly to share my heart and encourage you and, reach out to the world somehow. And when I started it, we were in lockdown during COVID, and I just thought, what better way? And I just kept going, and I'm so glad that I have, because I've been able to meet some really neat people. But I was on my way to get that photo session done, and I just remember thinking about a zillion times it felt like, you're so fat. You're too fat. You should have lost more weight. And that's so awful, because I know the power of life and death are in my words, and what goes on in my head is going to come out of my mouth. So I need a different record up here. Like, I need to be able to play something else. So I am just being real with you guys. This is the hardest thing I have had to overcome, whether doing Nutrisystem or not. My greatest challenge so far, even doing Nutrisystem, because I just want to throw my hands up and say, I quit, it's not working. It is working. I'm losing 1 to 2 pounds a week. I just need to stop beating myself up when I don't make the right choices every single time, every single day, and just keep doing my best. Like, pick it back up and keep going, because the program definitely does work. I'm so glad that I'm doing it. I don't regret the choice to start Nutrisystem again. If you've been following along with me on your Nutrisystem journey, and if you're around week 4, 5, or 6, I just want to hear what has been your greatest challenge so far, since starting your Nutrisystem journey. And, you know, how have you overcome that? What are some things that you've put in place to help you keep pressing forward and to not quit and, you know, not give up when it is so hard, especially those first 7 days? Because I know those first 7 days are definitely a shock. But then trying to figure out the program and, you know, hey, your family wants to go out to have pasta and you're like, I have my little bag of Nutrisystem pasta. What, you're not gonna bring that to a restaurant, right? Like, so what do you do? Now that I shared with you guys what's been so hard for me during this whole process, I want to share with you how I'm going to overcome my negative self-talk. And that is not just with the power of positive thinking or affirmations necessarily. I am going to continue to keep myself grounded in the Word of God and go to what He says about me and who I am continuously. I have a big poster in my bathroom, a huge poster that I had made on Canva, and I had actually did it as a gift for my husband for Christmas, and it is our identity in Christ. I put him in our bathroom because we just tend to spend a lot more alone time in the bathroom without like kids and things like that. So I'm going to be making sure that I use those declarations, that I speak those declarations out every single day, and then I'm in the Word, and then I'm journaling all of the things that I'm keeping up here in my mind and get them out on a piece of paper. When I do that, I feel so much better. I really do just have a better like outlook about myself, and I can kind of see what's going on in my mind when I get it out on paper. So I know this is a season, and every season changes and turns and goes into a new season, and this is just a challenging one. It's just one that is just a little bit more full of some stress and some disappointments and some challenges, but I am gonna just keep pressing forward. And if you guys have watched my Summer Coach Collab series with Sarah also, I want you guys to really understand the power of our words when it comes to not just what we say to ourselves, but what we say to other people really matters. If you wouldn't say it to their face, maybe don't say it on a comment or on social media, on Facebook or Instagram. I just think there's ramifications for our words, period. Whether or not you ever know the extent of the harm that's done or the good that's done with your words, whether it's typed out words or spoken words, there is something being done when you release your words. Sarah has been attacked a few times on my channel by random viewers, just saying some really mean things in particular, and I pray for those people because I can't imagine why they would even want to be so cruel. But Sarah is on a weight loss journey, and she became certified as a health and life coach for her own self. She wanted to be coached by a health and life coach, and in the process ended up getting her certification as well. So she will be using that in the future when she has lost the weight that she is looking to lose. She's already lost almost 80 pounds. I'm so proud of her, and it's taken her 2 years, but that's amazing. I'm so proud of her. And I've lost like 50, 60 almost pounds myself. It's taken me 3 years. You know, it's taken me a long time, and I'm just so grateful for her courage to get on and just speak from her heart what she does, how she loves to help other people. I would just encourage you to consider your words, and like our mamas probably told all of us growing up, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So anyways, thanks so much for hanging out with me today and listening to my greatest challenge and hanging out with me and being along for the journey as I'm going through ebbs and flows and mountains and valleys. And you guys are getting ready to hear a whole bunch more about my story and my book coming up on this channel. So if you've just happened upon this video looking into Nutrisystem, kind of trying to figure out why it's so hard for me, hey, subscribe to my channel. You guys hang out here with me. I'm going to keep vlogging about my Nutrisystem journey week by week, and sometimes I'll even be putting out bonus videos, what I eat in a day or what I eat in a week videos on Nutrisystem, showing you guys different meal ideas that you can put together. And at the end of all of this, I'm going to share with you guys my results, however great or small they might be. And don't forget to let me know what your greatest challenge has been and what's so hard for you on your Nutrisystem journey. And if there hasn't been anything that's challenged you so far, I still would love to know that. Just let me know. Hey, it's been easy as pie. I think this is so great. let me know. And I just want you guys to be clear. I think Nutrisystem is so great too. I'm so thankful that the food is delicious for the most part. I've only ran across a couple things that I was like, no, won't order that one again. So if you guys also haven't tried it and you're looking to try it, I put a link for you guys in the description below for you to save 50% off. So you guys let me know how you've been doing on your journey so far and what's been going on in your world. Thanks so much. Until next time. Bye.